Welcome back to the Crypto World channel, everyone. My name is Josh, and this is the time to pay attention, especially for Ethereum holders. Right now, Ethereum is setting up for the next huge move on the chart. These moves do not come very often. In just a moment, I'll be going over exactly what I'm paying attention to right now in terms of this pattern. I'll also be going over some more imminent price targets on the chart. And towards the end of this video, I'll be covering Ethereum versus Bitcoin, and that is not all. In this chart, I'll be comparing the current price action to the price action that we saw when Bitcoin last broke into a brand new all-time high, because that sets up a whole new opportunity. So definitely make sure you're watching all the way to the end of this video so that you're not missing out on any of this valuable information. And just before we jump into it, make sure to drop a like down below. And if you're new to the channel, you might as well subscribe with notifications turned on for more updates just like this one. But with all of that out of the way, let's get straight into what this video is about. So right here, we're on the Ethereum to US dollar chart on the 4-hour time frame. And what we can straight away see is the fact that we got within a couple dollars of my first price target here for Ethereum. If you've been watching the channel over the past few days, in fact, over the past week or so, I've been looking at this price target as my first major price target to the upside, because that's simply the price target for this ascending triangle pattern. And also, we've previously found strong resistance at that price. So this red line just here, which I haven't even moved in days, you can even go back and check on my other videos. That's coming in at around 3,980 approximately. And Ethereum just got up towards around 3,970, at least on the Coinbase exchange. So yeah, at the moment, Ethereum has found a little bit of resistance around $10 away from the point of resistance that I've been telling you guys for the past few days. But I've also been telling you guys that I only really expect short-term resistance at this level, and I expect Ethereum to break out sometime soon. Even if we do see a little bit more of a rejection here, that could possibly be a little bit more of a buying opportunity. At least that's how I would see it, because especially with Bitcoin looking so bullish, anytime Bitcoin's bullish, usually Ethereum tags along, and then it's after Bitcoin finishes its move and starts entering a consolidation phase, that's when Ethereum starts outperforming Bitcoin. But even when Bitcoin's going to the upside, Ethereum is still gaining against the US dollar, generally speaking. So yeah, right now, even though we have run into a little bit of resistance here, close to 4,000 US dollars, I'm definitely still bullish on Ethereum. And by the way, this resistance that we're running into just here, this is really the last major point of resistance before Ethereum is breaking into a brand new higher high. That is right, Ethereum still hasn't broken into a new higher high here on the daily time frame, technically speaking, because the previous high back here that we set in the beginning of September, that was actually just above 4,000. And so far, at least at the time from this video, we still haven't hit 4,000 just yet. But a great thing about this is the fact that obviously Bitcoin has already broken above this previous high just here, which means Bitcoin potentially is a leading indicator for Ethereum right now, meaning that Ethereum is likely to see something similar sometime soon, which is obviously giving us a good opportunity in Ethereum right now. And speaking about opportunities in Ethereum, here's an inverse head and shoulders pattern that I've been warning you guys about for around a week and a half now, and we've already broken out to the upside here. And so far, anyone that simply put in a long position at the point of the breakout, you are right now in some very nice profits for Ethereum. So congrats to everyone that has been following along with my Ethereum update so far. But with that being said, we're not even halfway to the actual price target for this pattern. The price target for this inverse head and shoulders pattern is coming in at around 4.6, nearly 4.7 thousand US dollars, which from the point of the breakout was a potential 27% gain. But from the current Ethereum price, that's still another 20% gain. So once again, there's still huge opportunities here for Ethereum, especially if we can first get above this high at around 4,000 US dollars. The $4,000 level and the 4.4K level, the all-time high, are really the last two major points of resistance before Ethereum can start looking towards these much bigger price targets like 4.7K. But with that being said, I would like to see a little bit more Ethereum volume coming in here, because right now we're still declining the volume at the moment. And that goes for the Kraken exchange, that also goes for the Coinbase exchange, and that goes for the Bitstamp exchange. They're just a few of the charts that I'm looking at here for Ethereum. But other than perhaps low volume, we're still looking really good here for Ethereum moving forward. And even if we do get some sort of rejection from 4,000, that could potentially lead into some sort of retest of this previous major point of resistance, which is now flipping into support. And that's coming in at just below 3.7K. So that's simply the level to watch to the downside if we do get a bit of a rejection here. I'm definitely not betting on Ethereum going to the downside. I'm just simply letting you guys know that important level in case we do end up seeing a bit of a rejection here. It's important to know what levels we should be expecting a bounce at. Now jumping into this Ethereum pattern. This is the huge cup and handle pattern that I've been talking about for quite a while now. And right now we are potentially in the very beginning stages of a huge breakout. Right now, I've got this line of resistance drawn at the candle bodies on the daily time frame. And if you're drawing this line of resistance like that, then yes, at the time of filming this video, Ethereum is currently above that major level. But we can't get ahead of ourselves because first of all, we haven't seen any confirmation just yet. Ideally, we need to see a strong daily candle close above this level and also a little bit more volume picking up here as well. And considering the fact that this pattern is also visible on the weekly chart, ideally, if we could get a weekly candle close above this level, that would be great to see. And by the way, this level right now is coming in at around 3.9k, give or take. But I've been mentioning in a lot of my recent videos that I'd like to see Ethereum break above that $4,000 high that we set around 1.5 months ago. But just switching back to the daily time frame and looking at another adjustment of this line of resistance, because as I said earlier, right now I've got it drawn between the candle bodies. But what happens when we're drawing this line between the candle wicks? Obviously, that does change things a little bit. And in that case, we still obviously have the cup and handle pattern. That doesn't change, but it just puts this point of resistance at a slightly higher level. So right now, that's coming in at just above 3.9k compared to just earlier, it was just below 3.9k. So it doesn't make that much of a difference. But yeah, like I said, we need to see confirmation here backing up this move. So far, we haven't had the confirmed breakout just yet. We're only in the beginning stages. And for any new viewers on the channel that have no idea about the price target for this huge cup and handle pattern, I've been mentioning it in almost every recent Ethereum video, but here it is again. The technical price target for this pattern is coming in at just above $6,200 per Ethereum. And from the current price, from the point of the breakout to that price target, you're talking about a 60% gain in the Ethereum price. So once again, huge opportunities here for Ethereum. And especially if Bitcoin goes on another run, then we're looking at some major gains for Ethereum versus the US dollar. But Ethereum, when valued against Bitcoin, is a different story, because when Bitcoin goes on a huge pump, that actually drags down the value of Ethereum versus Bitcoin. And that's what we've seen kind of just recently, because as I mentioned time and time again, anytime Bitcoin has its major move, a lot of the altcoins and Ethereum especially kind of just sit to the side and lag behind Bitcoin a little bit while Bitcoin is making that move. But then when Bitcoin enters its consolidation range and hits a bit of resistance, that sort of thing, that's when you see Ethereum and a lot of other top altcoins as well start outperforming Bitcoin. And generally speaking, if you're looking at the big picture, the longer term trend for Ethereum versus Bitcoin, during the bullish times, the bull markets, Ethereum has always outperformed Bitcoin. That's not just my opinion, that's actually what the data shows us. If you're looking here in the last major bull market for Ethereum and Bitcoin, of course, that was 2016 and 2017. And throughout that entire bull market, if you're just looking at the trends that we were in for Ethereum versus Bitcoin, that was generally speaking an uptrend. From start to finish in that entire bull market, Ethereum did outperform Bitcoin overall, but of course we had some time periods in the middle of that bull market where Ethereum did underperform Bitcoin. But really, when you're looking at the big picture, Ethereum was outperforming during the bull market. And then when the bear market hit towards the end of 2017 and beginning of 2018, that's when Ethereum started underperforming against Bitcoin. And then pretty much for the rest of those bearish times throughout 2018 and leading into 2019, Ethereum was still underperforming against Bitcoin. And then when 2020 arrived and the bull market came around again, that is when Ethereum began outperforming Bitcoin again. And considering the fact that this chart is derived from both Ethereum and Bitcoin, it's important to take a look at both Ethereum and Bitcoin as well as looking at this chart. Because for example, right now, Bitcoin is getting very close to its all-time high. And this is the Bitcoin to US dollar chart on the 1-day time frame. And if you've been watching my recent Bitcoin update videos, you'll know that this area on the chart was the last time we saw a major all-time high breakout during November 2020. In fact, more specifically, when we ran into this resistance, that was pretty much in the middle of November right there, all the way up towards the middle of December. And then it was, around the middle of December that we finally broke into a brand new all-time high for Bitcoin. So just remember those dates between the middle of November and the middle of December. Now switching back to the Ethereum versus Bitcoin charts on the daily time frame and going back to that date. So this right here is the middle of November 2020, and this right here is the middle of December 2020. And what you can see here is during that time period when Bitcoin was approaching the all-time high and running into a bit of resistance at the all-time high before the breakout, that point where Bitcoin was running into resistance, we actually saw a gain for Ethereum versus Bitcoin. But remember, Bitcoin broke into a brand new all-time high in around the middle of December 2020 right here. And the moment we did that, Ethereum started losing value against Bitcoin, but that only lasted for around 2 weeks, around 2 weeks worth of bearish price action for Ethereum versus Bitcoin before we formed a nice W pattern here. We confirmed that pattern and we started a nice uptrend. And so looking at what happens next in hindsight, whether you bought here, whether you bought here, whether you bought after the bearish price action or even after the next huge pump. Either way, what came next in Ethereum versus Bitcoin would have made you profits anyway. And by the way, for the longer term subscribers out there, if you were subscribed to this channel back during March this year, I was letting you guys know at this exact bottom that I was moving some of my Bitcoin into Ethereum in anticipation of another major move just about to happen. You don't even have to believe me. You can go back on the channel and take a look for yourselves. The videos are there back in March this year when I was telling you guys that Ethereum is about to have a huge move against Bitcoin. And so simply looking at where we are right now compared to back here, it's still possible that we could have, a little bit more bearish price action before the bullish price action kicks in. But that sort of bearish price action is only in the short term, at least in my opinion. As far as the longer term trend for Ethereum versus Bitcoin, I still expect bullish price action for as long as we're in a bull market. And remember, that's just generally speaking, because obviously during that bullish price action, we can have pullbacks along the way, but it's just the general trend is to the upside. So that's really the main reason behind why I'm actually dollar cost averaging into Ethereum and also using a little bit of Bitcoin to buy even more Ethereum. But the key word is definitely to dollar cost average. Right now, I would not be going all in because like I said, it's not impossible for us to have, a little bit more bearish price action before the bullish price action kicks in. And so let's just say if I went all in just here, then obviously I wouldn't be able to take advantage of these lower prices. But let's just say if we start bottoming out here and see the move to the upside, then I would have already taken advantage of this opportunity by dollar cost averaging in. And obviously that's not financial advice. That's just telling you my Ethereum strategy. And it's also important to mention that I don't normally recommend switching between Bitcoin and Ethereum, and especially with other smaller altcoins too much for the complete beginners out there, because when it comes to strategies like that, that does add on extra risk, especially for the beginners out there. And by the way, if you want to know this sort of information hours before these videos, in these real-time updates, make sure you're checking out my Twitter. The link to my official Twitter is in the description down below for any of you that want to stay up to date in these markets at all times. And if you enjoyed the video or got something valuable out of this video, make sure to leave a like down below. And if you're new to the channel, be sure to subscribe with notifications turned on for more updates just like this every single day. I really do appreciate all of your support on the channel at the moment. I can't thank you guys enough. And before clicking off, for the new viewers on the channel, if you missed these uploads, make sure you're checking them out because I've got a video showing exactly how I trade crypto and another video showing exactly how I earn passive income every day in crypto with no work required. But anyway, that's really everything I have to say for this video. I really hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you all in the next video.